Boy from Oklahoma found in Rockwall County.
Rising sun, rising temperatures. We've had that for several days, but that comes to an end this weekend. The shower chances just beginning. Those details are next on Good Day.
It's 6 a.m. and you're watching Good Day on Fox 4.
Good morning. It is Thursday, June 11th. I like that shot of the sunrise behind Evan.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm Dan Godwin in for Tim Ryan.
I'm Lauren Prisbel. Several people in a stolen SUV tried to steal an ATM overnight.
They got away empty-handed. LaToya is live in Northeast Dallas with the story.
Well, Dan and Lauren, that's right. They did get away, but not before doing a lot of damage to the store. Just take a look at what is left here of this front entrance of the CVS store. Of course, they rammed through multiple times here in this SUV just after 2:30 this morning, and that is what's left. A crew is trying to repair it, though. We have some video that shows you more of what was going on when the investigation was still ensuing, when police were still here on the scene. They, of course, got here and immediately started looking at those surveillance tapes that were here from the store to try to see what they could learn from the suspects. All we know is that it was more than one person. They were in an SUV, and again, they kept ramming through this door, got in the store, tried to steal the ATM, which is just to the right of the door. When they got frustrated because they couldn't get it, they took off. And so they basically smashed without the grab. If you come back out live to us, police are now continuing to look at those surveillance tapes, trying to see what they can discern, if they can try to figure out who, in fact, was in that SUV. But right now, they don't have much to go on. Reporting live from Northeast Dallas, I'm LaToya Silman for Good Day.
Thank you very much. A new development in the Amber Alert investigation that we've been following all morning long. We have learned the missing Oklahoma boy found in Rockwall this morning was actually taken by his uncle. We weren't sure about the relationship. This is according to the Marshall County Sheriff's Office. This Amber Alert was issued overnight after the boy was taken from Kingston, Oklahoma. Someone called in a tip to police after spotting the car the boy was believed to be in Wiley, and then a search helicopter was called out, found the car in a Rockwall. That was about 1 o'clock this morning, and police arrested 39-year-old Jason Montgomery. He is charged with kidnapping. Again, that's the boy's uncle, apparently. All right, time for weather.
All right, yeah, we're going to check in with Evan. Temperatures after peaking on Wednesday, I guess going to drop a little bit.
Yeah, hey, listen, even a degree in the direction going down is usually appreciated this time of the year. And you mentioned the sunrise. We get that every day, courtesy of the sun. At least no clouds this morning, and that sunrise today should be pretty pleasant. We're running a degree or so under yesterday. 97 was the peak, and yeah, hopefully this map will peak at 97 and work its way back down. I do think that is the case going into the weekend. So no triple digits in our forecast. Now, right now we're 76 at South Lake and Cedar Hill. Over at Decatur, it's 74. Haslett, 75. 74, Corsicana and Terrell. As I said, we're running about 1 degree under yesterday. We'll take that 1 degree. 80 degrees as we roll through about 8 o'clock this morning. 90 by noon. Might be about 91, 92 from yesterday, so running a degree under that. And there's a good breeze. That's part of the reason we're going to see those 94-degree temperatures this afternoon versus the 97s. Stronger breeze from the Gulf pulling in some less hot air, but it's going to be just as humid. Temperatures today, that 94 will likely start coming down as we go into the end of the week and the weekend, but that's because clouds will be on the increase, and our rain chances, while they're not great to start, they do rise as we finish the weekend. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Brand new accident on 635.
And it's going to hurt you folks in the Coppell area and Irving and that small finger of Farmers Branch that you move into, passing Luna Road towards the I-35E interchange. The wreck itself is in the eastbound direction at Marsh Lane. 2 vehicles involved, and it is a Lulu, as one of the vehicles ended up hitting the wall pretty hard and is now facing sideways. With the 2 left lanes blocked, that means just the right lane is getting through, and that in turn means, yeah, again, big troubles in this area. For you folks trying to move into downtown Dallas, nothing unusual so far on I-45 heading up towards the interchange at I-30 and continuing through the Horseshoe Project. I-45 traffic heading in the northbound direction. We haven't seen any major troubles trying to move up around the 175 CF Hahn merge, which is good news. And so far, so good in Tarrant County. We haven't had any early morning headaches as far as troubles are concerned moving anywhere in Fort Worth City proper or any of the surrounding communities. Lauren, Dan, back to you.
Thank you, Chip. The former superintendent of the Aledo School District and his 14-year-old passenger were killed in a crash Wednesday afternoon.
Sky 4 shows what's left of the pickup truck that belonged to Don Daniel. State troopers say Daniel crossed into oncoming traffic along I-20 near FM 1187 in Parker County, crashed head-on into an SUV and a big rig. Both Daniel and Hunter Corzine were killed. 2 other drivers were hurt. They're in the hospital. The wreck is under investigation.
The attorney for the former McKinney police officer at the scene of that pool party defended her client's actions. Eric Casebolt's lawyer, Jane Bishkin, claims he worked on 2 emotionally stressful calls before he was called out to break up that pool party, and she says that's why he reacted the way he did. Bishkin says there were multiple 911 calls for criminal trespassing, which escalated to possible violent assaults. Bishkin says Casebolt was not targeting minorities. Instead, he was just trying to talk to as many teens as possible to figure out what happened.
With all that had happened that day, he allowed his emotions to get the better of him. Eric regrets that his conduct portrayed him in his department in a negative light. He never intended to mistreat anyone, but was only reacting to a situation and the challenges that it presented. He apologizes to all who were offended.
The 15-year-old girl in the video, Dejaria Becton, was not detained or arrested. Her attorney says Casebolt's explanation does not justify the actions he took against her. She says her client now feels like she can't leave her home.
I think she's sad and she's concerned and she's embarrassed to a degree because she's the most well-known, McKinney teenager ever right now, and I think she's feeling a little embarrassed in a way by that, not because of her own actions, but because she was put in this position.
Becton's not filed a complaint or a lawsuit yet. Casebolt's lawyer says he and his family are staying in an undisclosed location. All sides say they've received death threats via email and social media and are reluctant to speak publicly.
President Obama is sending hundreds more U.S. troops to Iraq to train security forces there.
Fox's Peter Ducey's live in Washington with more. Peter?
Lauren and Dan, sending 400 more American troops to Iraq and opening a new base there to train those Iraqi troops certainly represents a big shift in President Obama's policy, but there are already big concerns that ISIS is winning.
I think ISIS is achieving the objectives that they have set out to achieve. I think that they feel probably very emboldened. They feel pretty good.
So some military and intelligence officials believe that ISIS and their 20 to 30,000 fighters are winning. And the White House believes the addition of these 450 trainers will help stop ISIS advances over the next several years.
The president and his team are confident that for now, 450 troops are additional military personnel are what is necessary to fulfill this expanded advise and assist and training mission to Khartoum.
Remember, just days ago, President Obama revealed he didn't have a complete strategy to take out ISIS, and he said the Iraqis couldn't round up enough recruits to join the fight.
Part of my discussion with Prime Minister Abadi was how do we make sure that we get more recruits in? A big part of the answer there is our outreach to Sunni tribes.
Right now, there are already more American trainers, 3,100, than there are Iraqi fighters, 3,000. Their work is spread out over 4 locations, but there will soon be a 5th. Noticeable numbers, but not enough for some of the president's critics.
I don't think 450 troops are going to make the difference. Like I said, it's a good start, but he's going to need to stand up and say, look, here's going to be the strategy that's going to wipe them out.
And what a contrast. Remember, President Obama basically got elected the first time in 2008 by promising to end the Iraq War. His White House now acknowledging there will likely be American troops in Iraq when he leaves office. Dan Warren.
Interesting. Thanks, Peter.
It's now 9 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Thursday. A recent comment about the McKinney pool party costs one principal his job. What he's saying about the officer behind the controversial story.
And the CDC wraps up its investigation into Bluebell ice cream. We have the results ahead.
Your Thursday begins with Good Day. Stock up on local news, weather, and traffic. Plus, Mark Davis sounds off on the McKinney pool party and more. And what recent grads can expect in the current job market. Get your resume ready with Good Day.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. It is 6:13, so we still don't know when Bluebell ice cream is going to be back in stores. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released its final report, though, regarding the listeria outbreak. And it says over the past 5 years, listeria-tainted Bluebell products sickened 10 people. They were all hospitalized. 3 people in Kansas died. Bluebell, a Brenham, Texas-based company, gave the U.S. Food and Drug Administration a list of corrective actions at its facilities. Many people like to blame their weight gain on job stress, but now researchers say, no, you can't use that excuse. Nope, not going to work.
The journal Obesity posted findings from various studies on obesity and work stress. Researchers say they found no association between the two. However, they do say extreme stress could lead to some negative health behaviors, and those behaviors, in some cases, could be an indirect cause.
Like a lot of people when they're stressed eat more. You know, get an extra cheeseburger, have those chips.
Or then you get people like me that bring cookies to the newsroom.
Or people like Evan.
Chocolate and all that stuff. Yeah.
It does make sense that when people are experiencing stress, they'll tend to reach for junk food. Because it's instant.
Food, yeah.
Yes, it's
just drink more coffee.
Yeah.
And when we got all those storms running around, just drink like 7 pots of coffee.
That's why you run around here crazy.
You don't have time to eat. Around here, if you want to grab the hot beverage, do it now because it's about to get hot again. Today we have temperatures. Yesterday had 97, the peak of the year so far. Kind of annoys me when I have to say that all the time because, oh, it's the hottest day of the season. Nope, today is the hottest day of the season. Oh, we got the hottest day of the season coming up. Eventually, it'll stop. It's not done yet. Summer hasn't even started for another, week and a few days. We've got 75 right now at DFW, the low of the day so far. We have 75 right now, 74 over in McKinney and Terrell. Bridgeport 75, Granbury 74. It's really not too bad out there this morning. There is a little breeze developing. There's very few clouds, but the breeze is coming from the south. And what's interesting about the forecast, other than a few clouds over the hill country and a shower down towards Galveston, we have sinking motion going on over Texas. Why? There is a new storm system. It's an upper level low producing some rain just off the coast around Mobile and Gulfport and New Orleans, which is drifting west. But as the air rises here, it sinks on the periphery. So we're going to have a dry day statewide today. Any of these clouds and showers stay north. Now tomorrow night we'll be watching the storm that's currently out in Vegas. That's the one that rained on California. It's raining in Vegas today. That pushes east, and eventually tomorrow evening there's going to be some big storms in West Texas. They'll die out before they get here. There may be some showers that survive. But in between, that squeeze play will cause stronger winds to develop, and that breeze is coming off the Gulf. And the Gulf, while the Gulf of Mexico is not cool this time of the year, it's going to be less hot than what we've been the last few days. So the stronger winds should advect in some slightly lower temperatures. We're talking a degree or two, but hey, every degree helps when you're in the 90s. It'll still be in the mid-90s today. Now tomorrow, we may see some spot showers east or southeast of Dallas during the heat of the afternoon. That's that tropical moisture starting to creep north. Now, tomorrow's temperatures will be down a hair as well. And we'll also watch some of those storms from West Texas coming in. I think they'll die out on their way in tomorrow night. Now, notice the time here. This is overnight, but there may be a few showers north and west, maybe 20% or so. But we will have higher chances this weekend as that squeeze play squeezes us closer. 94 today, no rain in the forecast, just a few afternoon clouds with a breeze. Tomorrow's 93, a little stronger breeze, a few extra clouds in the morning, and isolated 20% showers south and east during the afternoon. 30% Saturday, driven by heating, which is going to be about 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock in that range. Sunday is going to be higher coverage as well as we get more tropical moisture and those temperatures come down. Now, I'm starting to worry a little about some heavier rain on Monday or maybe Monday night. That could be developing into a flooding situation as this tropical moisture sticks over the area. It gradually gets out of here by Wednesday.
Okay, it's pretty interesting weather. How are things in the traffic department, Chip?
You know what? We keep having things pop up and disappear and pop up and disappear. And then there are other areas that are still flowing along well. A great example of where it's nice is still in the middle of this North Texas viewing area. I-20, I-30, 183, all moving great along that Tarrant-Dallas County line in both directions. But over on LBJ, is of all the highways, that seems to be the one that's struggling the most. We showed you right at the top of the hour a crash that happened at the top of the hour at Marsh Lane, and the two left lanes are still blocked there, and you can see that backup stretches to I-35E. My latest concern is right in this area here, 635 LBJ. You want to approach this area with caution, and here's the reason why. There is a vehicle that is sitting on the left side of the HOV lane. We believe that this driver has a flat tire and has tried to move slowly and then stops, slowly and stops, slowly and stops along the left side of the roadway there. So again, be extra careful, especially obviously if you're a carpooler. As far as some other drive times, take a look. Not too bad heading from the Texas Motor Speedway on 114 to the north end of the airport.
It is 6:19. A Florida high school principal was fired after posting a comment about the McKinney pool party incident. Alberto Iber posted the comment on the Miami Herald's website saying Officer Eric Casebolt did nothing wrong. That comment included Iber's photo, name, school, title. The school district's now reassigned him to administrative duties. The search for 2 escaped prisoners has expanded from upstate New York into Vermont. The governor said new information indicates the convicted murderers crossed the state line. Didn't provide too many details, though. It's been 5 days since those 2 killers broke out of a maximum security prison in upstate New York, and police are looking into whether a prison worker helped them escape. There's a big mess to clean up at Charlotte International Airport. An American Airlines flight headed to Paris veered off the runway last night, leaving behind a 15-foot-long hole in the ground. Fortunately, no one was hurt. An airline spokesperson says they believe the pilot just miscalculated. Yeah, that's a big miscalculation. It is 6:20. Big changes coming for credit cards. How this switch could affect you at the checkout counter.
Whose bet is this one?
And a North Texas hero and his 6 children are waking up in their new home.
Welcome back. We've got a traffic situation on that stretch of roadway. Chip will be back in just a moment with more details there. Acura is recalling 2 models of SUVs because of a glitch in the automatic braking system. The recall involves MDX and RLX SUVs for model years 2014, 2015. Fewer than 48,000 vehicles are affected worldwide. The problem is with the vehicle's collision mitigation braking system. Acura says dealerships will fix the glitch with a software update. That old credit card in your wallet is about to be replaced with a new one that contains a computer chip. U.S. banks are in the process of replacing the old magnetic strip credit and debit cards. The plan is to have half of all the cards used in the U.S. changed to the new ones by the end of the year. The new cards will also require businesses to upgrade their equipment to allow for chip transactions. I don't have to tell you, Evan, that microchips are the wave of the future. In fact, I've often thought that you'd be a good candidate for a microchip implant.
This way you could track me wherever I go, right?
Exactly.
Oh, he's at the gym again. By the way, the rain chances that we had about 10% yesterday. I don't see any today, Dan. So you can head outside, get your run in this afternoon. Now, tomorrow, 20% on the showers, mainly southeast during the daytime, southeast of Dallas. Now, northwest of Fort Worth could be at night. And then the weekend, it goes from 30 to 40% by Sunday. No washouts, but with heating. So basically like 1 to 6, 1 to 7 will be your peak time to see some of these showers scatter across the area. We'll talk in detail about your weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes, because today's a piece of cake, Chip.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. And I know a lot of you are wondering, wait a minute, I just saw that camera shot coming out of the break. Was that over on LBJ? Yeah, it's our third wreck of the morning now on LBJ, and the most recent incident is at Plano Road. So you had the stalled vehicle at Skillman. This is in the backup where the HOV lane and left lane is blocked. So again, double trouble heading from Mesquite and Garland over to the High-5 right now. And then don't forget, over on the eastbound side at Marshall, have the 2 left lanes blocked by a crash that happened at the top of the hour. Next stop is going to be over on the North Loop, heading in the eastbound direction from the Jacksboro Highway over towards I-35W. We have new trouble around Marine Creek Parkway. Please take note and plan accordingly. Dan?
Thank you, Chip. A military family has a new home. Retired Army Sergeant Greg Dotson was given a new home in the Fort Worth suburb of Colleyville. The Texas Sentinels Foundation provided it. Dotson was an Army medic who's credited with saving more than 160 lives, the husband and father of 6 daughters. We saw some of them there. He lost his leg in Iraq.
There's always another surgery or another appointment, and trying to find work, and as much as you try to keep it out of your kids' lives, it's always in there. And this is just stability. It's one less thing they have to worry about.
Yes, indeed. The Texas Sentinels Foundation was created 8 years ago to give back to men and women who served in the U.S. military. The time now is 6:27 on this Thursday. The search for a missing child is over. The boy found safe, and his kidnapper now behind bars. And police are looking for the man who murdered a young mother at a convenience store.
Day continues at 6:30 a.m.
Well, a missing 7-year-old boy from Oklahoma was found safe in Rockwall County.
Saul is following this developing story at the Rockwall Police Department. Good morning.
Yeah, Rockwall police making the arrest very early this morning. The suspect gave up without incident and in front of a relative's house. The child is okay, in fact, being reunited with his family this morning in Oklahoma. Now here's a mugshot of 39-year-old Jason Montgomery as he was booked into the Rockwall County Jail. This morning, he is facing a kidnapping charge. The Amber Alert for 7-year-old Cash Umina was issued out of Oklahoma in Marshall County. That's close to the Texas-Oklahoma border sometime yesterday. He and Montgomery are nephew and uncle. How the abduction happened at this point, police have not released. Now the suspect and the white Honda Accord that he was driving were spotted in Wiley sometime yesterday, and police in the area were already on alert because they knew he had family here. Then, about 1 o'clock this morning, Rockwall police got a 911 call from a resident reporting the car in the area. A number of agencies responded, even the DPS helicopter. Montgomery was ordered out of the car near a relative's house. He complied and was taken into custody. The child was not hurt. Very good news because police believe that he was in grave or immediate danger. Montgomery's bond is set at $100,000. Reporting live in Rockwall, Saul Garza for Good Day.
Thank you, Saul.
Well, I guess we're talking about some rain possibilities in the fairly near future, right, Evan?
Yeah, that would mean a pattern change is on the way. We've had about about a week and a half or so of dry weather with 1 or 2 storms scattered in between, but basically not a lot of people have gotten rain in the last week and a half. That's going to change going into the weekend. It'll be a breezy day today. Today is a rain-free day, just a little less heat and a little stronger wind. Now, storm chances are going to rise during the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, as I just talked about, but the pattern might actually stall out early next week, and that could pull Gulf moisture in and keep rainfall in the forecast for even days into Monday and Tuesday. And by then we could be talking flooding threat. Not severe weather so much though. Look at that, almost cloud free across the state this morning. This is a dry pattern for today. The breezes start by late morning. They'll be almost 18, 20 miles per hour by the afternoon hours. Got us at 94, 95, which is still hot. The normal is 91. But it's a little improvement over yesterday, and little bits do help every once in a while. We'll talk about that extended forecast and how much rain we could get in a few minutes. Let's talk about how many traffic jams we could have.
Yeah, well, you were concerned we might have one right through here. This is on the North Loop. Folks over at TxDOT just spun this camera back around, so when the locator comes up, it's not perfect, but it is the area around Azle Avenue heading over towards the interchange at Blue Mound and continuing over through this area has been a little on the slow side. Had a wreck in the eastbound direction in the main lanes for just a couple of minutes, just a little bit east of here, and it just cleared in the last few minutes. And that's why they spun the camera back around, because it's looking right into the sun and it really was washed out. But it is stop and go in that immediate area, not too bad. Here's 635 LBJ westbound in Marsh. Still have the 2 left lanes blocked, and you know what we need? A wrecker, and that would help because the backup is extending now back beyond the I-35E interchange. Remember, 2 trouble spots on the opposite side of LBJ, heading over in this area around the interchange at Plano Road. We have a wreck in the HOV lane left lane, and then, of course, trouble with a stalled vehicle at Skillman, causing a backup to the I-30 interchange. Dan?
Well, police in the Colony north of Dallas are using surveillance video to identify the person they say murdered a convenience store clerk. Detectives say surveillance video shows the armed suspect as he walked up to the counter Wednesday morning. The clerk complied with his demand for money, but moments later, police say the suspect shot and killed 31-year-old Samira Shiwakoti.
She's a great woman, she's a great mother, and she's a great sister-in-law too. She's a very nice person. Yeah, we really miss her.
Police say surveillance video from the business next door showed the suspect as he arrived. According to police, this same convenience store on Main Street was robbed 2 years ago. It's now 6:35 on this Thursday morning.
The McKinney police officer at the center of a viral video resigns, and we get reaction from Mark Davis right after the break.
back. A nice looking Thursday morning in North Texas, 22 minutes ahead of 7 o'clock.
Mark Davis from 660 AM The Answer joins us this morning. All right, this whole McKinney pool party that was being broken up by the officer has now resigned and has, through an attorney, offered an apology. Is that it, or do you think charges are coming?
I think there are those who will seek charges, and here's the poisonous climate we find ourselves in. Everybody is taking sides so decisively, and this has happened on the show in just the last few days, that if you say Corporal Casebolt messed up, that he wasn't on his best game that day at the pool, you're accused of not backing the blue. You're accused of being anti-police. Now flip the coin. If you say that criminal charges are inappropriate, that maybe the guy losing his career is more than enough punishment, then you're accused of being a part of evil white privilege. This is the landscape of the moment. This is what makes it impossible to have cool, clear-headed assessments of police behavior in the era of the cell phone.
Although I am struck, there have been actually some good discussions. This has prompted I think, some useful exchanges between people about this current climate we live in and the different perceptions that people have of the same kind of incident.
I think it is useful, Dan, to talk about the phenomenon of where we are, how we're all so hopped up in the era of Ferguson and Baltimore and Staten Island. But the attempt to take McKinney, the attempt to take an admittedly bad day of police work on the part of Corporal Casebolt, which I think we can all understand a little better now, understand but not excuse because of the suicide calls earlier in the day and various other things. Those dialogues are good when held by responsible, thoughtful, civil people, but the agitators, the troublemakers will continue to be here. They'll continue to call for more pounds of police flesh. There is a war on policing, and the tricky thing here is in that heated environment, it's hard for clear-headed folks to arrive on all sides to arrive at exactly what happened at the pool and exactly how emblematic it is of a larger problem.
Some people are saying that because we have this cell phone video, this shows that all officers should be wearing body cameras. Do you agree with that? Do you think every officer that's on the street should have a body camera?
I'm a big fan of body cameras, and I'm a big fan of citizen cameras. Yeah. I mean, cameras don't lie, but cameras also don't reveal everything. And boy, did that play out in this McKinney incident. So, yeah, if we go forward with the notion that even with cameras, that's not going to answer everything, and sometimes it's left to cool, calm assessment of the facts, if we can do that, then the availability of video is nothing but a good thing.
Okay, President Obama sending 450 more troops to Iraq to train Iraqi security forces to put up a better fight against ISIS.
Wow, 450 of them. Listen, I'll take anything, especially for the remaining days of this presidency, but that's not going to do it. And this is what's an interesting part of the 2016 campaign trail that moves forward is Republicans, and even if we get the occasional Democrat who's serious about beating ISIS, they're going to have to admit that it cannot be done without us. It cannot be done without a serious American military presence. It's a very tough sell. We're a war-weary nation, but you know what? Maybe we're not tired of the war. Maybe we're tired of not winning the war. And the steps toward that are going to involve some serious assessments of what we can do in the region and what only we can do in the region.
All right, you can listen to the Mark Davis Show every morning, 660 AM The Answer. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
It is 6:41. The TCU baseball team's headed back to Omaha this morning. This time they hope to return with a national championship.
Chip has an update on Thursday morning traffic. Evan says we could see some slightly cooler temperatures today and into the weekend.
Pretty decent start to the morning out there. We do have a little breeze today. Good morning, everybody. Made it to Thursday. It's 77 in Irving and Plano. You can see the Trinity slowly coming back down, but it's still a river. South wind at 8 and the dew point is 67, which is about where it was yesterday morning, between 65 and 70. Yeah, 55 would be nice. It's 65, dew point, Texas folks can handle it. But at 70 degrees, we start to complain a lot. You feel that moisture, and we're going to be there this weekend. You're going to feel all that extra moisture and mold growing in the air with the extra Gulf moisture that's thrown in. Right now, it's not too bad, though. Haslett and Crowley are 74, Frisco coming in at 78. Most areas are in the 70s, even 69 showing up at Stephenville and 68 at Bowie. Skies are clear. Sunrise, plenty of it. We're going to take the sun all the way to 10 o'clock. Like yesterday, it's going to warm up in a hurry, but we may fall about a degree, 1 or 2 degrees under where we were yesterday, thanks to a stronger wind off the Gulf. You can see there's very few clouds, but as the Gulf wind increases, the Gulf really isn't that warm this time of the year. It obviously will get warmer as the summer goes on. The stronger the wind is, the more we pull in that slightly less hot air. There are two things going on that will impact us this weekend. One is tropical moisture sitting south of Mobile, drifting to the west. That's going to bring showers, especially to East Texas tomorrow, and then getting closer to us on Saturday and Sunday. And then a storm coming in from the west, which will increase the wind, increase the tropical moisture, and that increases rain chances by Sunday as well. So today there's nothing. Tomorrow it's just southeast of Dallas during the daytime, 20%. Coming in from the northwest at night, and then on Saturday we'll get some brief afternoon storms as we heat things up. Sunday it becomes a little more widespread, especially with heating, like 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the afternoon and evening. Now the pattern change that's coming up, not only does it make it a little bit more humid, but it will make it less hot. Today's the last of the really hot days in the mid-90s. Tomorrow we get a stronger wind and higher humidity levels. There are your showers southeast in the afternoon. And as we head into Saturday, we'll watch some of those showers blow off from West Texas, but they'll die out as we head into Saturday morning. The afternoon hours, you saw the green flare up and then die out during the overnight hours. That'll be the trend both days this weekend. So if you have plans, don't cancel anything, but at the same time, the afternoon hours, certainly between 2 and 6 o'clock, are going to be the most numerous showers on the radar. Brief downpours, yes. Lightning, yes. Severe, probably not. 94 today, 93 tomorrow. We come down with the breeze, and then by the weekend, it's still the same forecast we've had for the last couple of days. 30%, 40%. Now, Monday, it grows as all of this combines across the area. We could have some flooding issues on Monday, and that might even linger into Tuesday as well before it dries out Wednesday.
The second time this morning, we have trouble on the North Loop. With our first incident was around Marine Creek Parkway, briefly in the left lane heading eastbound. That's cleared, but notice how the traffic on the eastbound side behind me around Mark IV Parkway is barely moving. The reason is because of a disabled 18-wheeler that is blocking up the left lane just past I-35W. And there's really not a great shot to show you that right now, but what we can see is the average speed here, maybe 5 to 8 miles an hour at best. So please take note and plan accordingly. We've had a host of problems on 635 LBJ. One of the first problems to pop up was around the Midway Road interchange. And there's a look at that area, and it's actually closer to Marsh than Midway. 2 left lanes are still blocked there, and only 1 lane can squeeze through. That in turn has caused a backup of several miles here. All the earlier troubles on LBJ heading in the westbound direction at Plano Road and Skillman have cleared out in the last few minutes. We're getting reports of some new trouble around Jupiter Road heading in the westbound direction. So I'll check out the cameras in that area, see what we can find. Quick note, in the southern part of Dallas County, had a report of a problem on northbound I-35 moving up toward Ledbetter. Haven't officially seen any lane blockage through that area, but I've only looked at a couple of shots. Just keep that in mind. You might want to add a couple of minutes to the drive just to be safe heading up from I-20 towards the Highway 67 merge. Dan?
Thanks, Chip. The Rangers have been playing some very good baseball of late, but they lost in Oakland last night. Texas blew a 3-run lead. The 5-4 loss prevented Texas from moving to within 1 game of the division-leading Houston Astros. Rangers finish their series in Oakland this afternoon.
TCU Horned Frogs baseball team is going to be traveling to Omaha, Nebraska today for the College World Series. This is the third trip to Omaha in 5 years, but they've never returned to Fort Worth as national champions. They're hoping their experience now will help them focus on the ultimate prize.
Because I know it was hard for me at first to really focus on and like, oh my gosh, it's Omaha, like I'm playing here, I can't believe it, but it's really, you gotta try to focus and breathe and just know that it's a game and that you've done it 1,000 times before.
Oh, they're super excited. TCU's first game at the College World Series is Sunday afternoon against Louisiana State. Good luck to them. We'll be cheering for you. Now, the Stanley Cup Finals are now the best of 3 after Chicago defeated Tampa Bay last night. The Blackhawks scored the go-ahead goal in the third period. They won Game 4 2-1, tying the series at 2 games apiece. So Game 5 is Saturday night in Tampa. 2 boxers top 4 magazine's list of the highest paid athletes. Boxers, that surprised me.
These numbers really are amazing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. leads the way, making $300 million over the past year. His opponent last month, Manny Pacquiao, made $160 million. Kind of takes the sting out of losing the big fight a little bit.
Getting beat up?
Yeah. 2 international soccer stars are next. Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo and Spain's Lionel Messi. Tennis star Roger Federer completes the top 5.
All right.
Well done, guys. 6:51, the time on this Thursday. Police are on the lookout for the driver who crashed into a business and tried to steal an ATM overnight.
And a popular North Texas lake is reopening just in time for the weekend.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of Good Day, 6 minutes ahead of 7 o'clock. Dallas police officers will offer public safety awareness tips and gather input from the community at a Chief on the Beat event today. The family-friendly gathering will give police the chance to engage with the community. Officers will be at Dallas Love Field from 7 to 10 o'clock this morning. So it starts in just a few minutes. There will be free entertainment and food.
And the city of Dallas is hosting another forum this morning on the Trinity Parkway project. Today's forum is going to give the community a chance to provide feedback on the project plans. The city wants input on several issues, including the project's smaller parkway design, access to the park, landscaping, economic development. The event is being held at El Centro College, downtown Dallas, from 7:30 this morning until 9 a.m. So Lake Worth is now reopened to boaters. Lake levels have come down enough for safe boating. If you're hitting the lakes today, you still need to use caution and watch out for any leftover debris from the recent flooding.
Today's still going to be one last pretty hot day. Normal's 91. We're going to be pushing 94, 95 across the area. McKinney, 95, Denton, 94. But as we get towards the weekend, those temperatures will be coming down. I know it's Thursday, but we look forward to some changes on the way, and they will bring us showers and thunderstorms, mainly during the heat of the afternoon hours, 1 to 7 o'clock in that range. 90 on Saturday, a little higher coverage comes in on Sunday. By the way, Chip, I happen to be wearing the purple today to pull for your frogs.
Man, you're so
It doesn't happen
nice. That is so nice. Thank you so much. The traffic right now over in Fort Worth, just north of the TCU campus. Go Frogs. Woo-hoo. It's looking okay. We don't have any problems there. But then, up here in the north, that is not great. And I'm going to show you why. There's a disabled 18-wheeler. I can't actually show you the 18-wheeler. I can show you, though, the slowdowns moving through this area. There is a look around the Mark IV Parkway interchange, still moving about 5 to 7 miles an hour. This is a shot around Beach Street, and you can see both the main lanes and tolled lanes. It looks like a Sunday morning drive, and that's because, again, of all the trouble in between those two cameras. So please take note and plan accordingly. Remember, on LBJ, 2 left lanes are still blocked at Marsh, and that is really bogging the drive down in that area. And a new wreck just happened northbound I-35 at the start of the Zhang curve around Illinois Avenue. This TxDOT shot, I'll admit, is not perfect. It's showing the activity there from a distance, but you can see all the activities on the right side of the roadway. And actually, emergency crews, and we're talking the fire engine and paramedics, have actually come up to this scene and gone quickly, which means it's a non-injury incident, and hopefully they won't have to keep many lanes blocked here for very long. And that's a quick look at the morning commute.
All right, it was a big night in Nashville for country music stars.
Singer Carrie Underwood took home 3 CMT Music Awards, including Video of the Year for Something in the Water. Luke Bryan won Male Video of the Year for Play It Again. Sam Hunt won this year's Breakthrough Video for Leave the Night On.
Pitch Perfect 3 received the green light from Universal Pictures. The 3rd installment comes as no big surprise, though. The franchise's second film had big box office success, raking at $160 million. Universal Pictures is negotiating with the writers of the first 2 films now, and no word yet if Elizabeth Banks is going to return to direct the 3rd film.
Well, we are getting the first official look inside filming of the X-Files revival. The X-Files Twitter account released photos of David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson back in character for the first time in 7 years. The release has sparked numerous questions among fans about the upcoming series, and of course rumors too. New episodes of the X-Files set to premiere on Fox starting January 24th.
Were you big into X-Files?
I never really got into the show in a big way.
I know, I feel like I need to now that it's coming back, and I mean, it obviously was pretty good the first time around.
Yes, people were passionate about the show. They loved it, so yeah.
All right, let's do celebrity birthdays. Actress Laurie.
I'm going to say former Dr. House.
Right.
Is going to be 53 today.
55 for me, the old double nickel.
Say 54. Oh, so close. 56 years old. Dr. Oz.
Okay.
Saw him up close and personal when he came in the studio.
Yeah, his show's here on Fox 4.
Right.
A very personable chap, I think. Yes, I'll say 51.
I'm going even older, 57.
58. Oh, 55 years old. Joshua Jackson.
Okay.
Anyone?
I'm going to say Dawson's Creek.
Oh,
right.
Dawson's Creek. Okay, that helps.
I'll say, 35.
He was on a Fox show for a while, too. 37 for me.
36.
Yes.
There we go. Got that one. 37 years old. You're watching Good Day on this pre-Friday.
From KDFW Fox 4, the only local news at 7 a.m. Thanks for choosing Good Day on Fox 4.
Some crooks made a big mess but failed to steal an ATM from a Dallas store.
A boy who was the subject of an Amber Alert in Oklahoma is found safe in North Texas, the latest in a live report.
Hey, we got one cloud out there this morning, but we're not going to see a lot of clouds in this forecast. This is the dry day. Things begin to change getting towards the weekend, and we'll talk about that next on Good Day.
Good morning. It is Thursday, June 11th. I'm Lauren Priswell.